Minula ding Kapampangan, makananulang may kilala. Kapilan niya miyusbong ing Kapampangan. Nanula rin babalik-balikan da at pantunan kareng Kapampangan.
Bayan pa yan doon.
Mekeni. Kaku ko, kekaku. Kaluguran da ka.
Manyaman.
Those are just some of the words and phrases that are used by the Kapampangans. Kapampangan is also called as Pampango. Just like other languages in the Philippines, it is a predicate initial language and an Austronesian language spoken by the ethnic group around the northern part of Luzon in the Philippines. They also often call it as Amanang Siswan, which means the language suckled from the mother's breast, and is also written as Kapampangan with the letter C. Kulitan or Sulat Kapampangan is what they call the Kapampangan's written script. It is an index script written vertically from right to left. According to Philippine Statistics Authority, the 2000 Philippine census stated that the native language of 2,312,870 people out of 76,332,470 is Kapampangan.
All know how diverse and unique the culture of Kapampangans are. They have different festivals, delicious foods, and other interesting things with their culture. Now, let us dig deeper and discover the history behind it. Look at makiramdam ka pa. Pampanga used to have a much more geographical basin extending it up to Nueva Vizcaya, but colonizer made no provinces with this area. In the time of Spaniards in 1571, it became the first colonial province led by Tariq Solomon. Aside from this, Spaniards used to depend on Kapampangan soldiers to defend their colony. The British invaders occupied the Manila, Spaniards was forced to transfer their government in Pampanga. Kapampangan attacked the British camp in achieving the victory, which resulted for the Spain to treat Pampanga as their favorite province and give the people privileges like allowing them to attain education and more. It made them produce first Filipino doctors, priests, nuns, and so forth. Did you know that the word Kapampangan was derived from the root word Pampang, which means riverbank? The language was not popular in the country until the arrival of Spanish. Furthermore, Kapampangan stands out among many Philippine languages because of its unique uses of words. After all of this, Kapampangan had a flowering civilization. Although they still suffer natural disasters like floods, volcano eruptions, and more that tested their compassion and braveness, they remain strong. And today, only the traces of past can be seen in their traditions, history, and books.
Moving on to the culture and beliefs of Kapampangan. Did you know that Pampanga is well known for two things? First, for the delicious food and for the Christmas paroles. The sisig recipe in Pampanga is very popular. To name the few of the famous delicacies, these are rice cake, tamales, teroles de cosoy, and many more. Aside from the food, Kapampangan are also known for the beautiful and wonderful Christmas paroles in San Fernando, Pampanga. Moreover, Kapampangan have rich customs that are still being practiced today. These are courtship, marriage, death, burial, baptismal, and birth practices. While the beliefs which have survived up until today are Nunu, Mangkukulam, Tiyanak, Duwende, at Magkukutud. In addition, Kapampangan also do have a belief in mythology, which they refer as Manyetchan, the supreme being of the universe.
Indeed, Kapampangans are proud of their race. They have a lot of colorful festivities that reflect its rich and diverse culture. Their festivals are a symbol of how they love living the good life. One of their most known festivals is the Ligligan Parul or the Giant Lantern Festival. This is a lantern-making festival which is annually held at San Fernando, Pampanga just before Christmas Eve. We all know that lanterns or parol are traditional Filipino Christmas decorations that symbolize hope and light. With this, San Fernando earned its title of Christmas Capital of the Philippines. Another famous festival is the Fiestang Tugak or the Frog Festival. This is celebrated every October in San Fernando, Pampanga in order to commemorate its old pastime of catching frogs. In fact, the abundance of frogs inspired some of their dishes which include adobong tugak, tinolang tugak, and many more. When Mount Pinatubo erupted in 1991, Bacolor was deep in lahar for 4 years. The natives believed that Apo Mallari, a god of the Athas, got mad because of the townsfolk's misconduct towards Mother Nature. That's why every November, as a reminder of the strength and unity of the people of Bacolor, they have a festival called Makatapak Festival. Makatapak means going barefoot. There are definitely a lot more festivals just like Duman Festival, Sinukuan Festival that represent Kapampangans. These are but a few of Pampanga's festivals showcasing their rich and unique culture and pride as Kapampangans.
With the famous history of Kapampangan in the past, it is amazing how their history turned these places into famous tourist spots. Mekeni, Libot na Kasagi. Holy Rosary Parish of Angeles City is one of the church who survived World War II. It is famous for its tall twin bell tower that dominates the skyline of Angeles City and one of the tallest church in Pampanga. This church shows how strong Kapampangan's faith is that like this church can still stand strong even after a war. Mount Pinatubo, who is known for its eruption back in 1991, became famous for its lahar formations, crater lake, 4x4 ride experience, and trek adventure activities. Travel along and take a fantastic photo with you that could remind you of us Kapampangan. Aside from those two, Clark Pampanga is also known for its different attractions, and one of them is Nayong Filipino, a park that features traditional dances, money and textile museums, replicas of tourist spots, ancestral homes, historical sites, and native villages in the Philippines. Here you can experience a quick trip around the Philippines. Moving on to Topo News, did you know that Mabalacat, a city's name, is derived from the ancient Balacat trees which were found abundantly in the area? Next is the Mexico, which is derived from the Alpawing River, or in Kapampangan, Makasiko Ilog, which is from the native name Masiko that is often taken as elbow. Lastly is the Apalit, which is known to be derived from the Nara tree. These are just some of the names and places that could show you a glimpse of Kapampangan history and culture.
Did you know that 2 of our presidents come from Pampanga? Well, they are none other than Diosdado Macapagal and her daughter, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Diosdado Macapagal passed some laws for the betterment of our agriculture sector, while her daughter built 50,000 houses every year for the less fortunate people. We all know that Pampanga is one of the 8 provinces that started to revolt against Spain. That is why it is not shocking that some of our local heroes are Kapampangans. First on my list is Francisco Maniago, who led the Pampanga Revolt in 1660. Let us not forget General Maximino, who came from an elite family in Mexico, Pampanga. He joined the Katipunan and led difficult missions like reclaiming Manila from the Americans. Of course, Kapampangan women did not forget to raise their flags. They also contributed to the Philippine Revolution. We have Mercedes Pajardo, who became the head of Philippine Red Cross in Pampanga, followed by Mateo Sioco, who offered her financial assistance to the Philippine Revolution. Lastly, Adriana Hilario, who gave materials which was used by the propaganda. Clearly, we can see that Kapampangans will let themselves stand out in different situations. Their talents and wits is not only limited in cooking, instead it is also evident in the Philippine history. Those are just some of the interesting facts of the Kapampangan culture. Indeed, it is safe to say that Pampanga has a lot more to offer.
Kapampangan, Kapampangan,
Kapampangan,
Kapampangan,
Kapampangan Ku, Pagmamahal Ku.
Kapampangan.